because we have forgotten we belong to each other. One love, one heart, one destiny. We are one humanity. Be the reason someone smiles today. Be the reason someone feels loved. And believe in the goodness in people. We're all equal because we are different. We are one humanity. We are one humanity. One God, many faces. One family, many faces. One truth, many traces. One humanity. One heart, many graces. One life, many places. One world, many spaces. One humanity. We are one humanity. We are one humanity. We are one humanity. We are one.
So here's a little work of heart for you. Check. How's that? All right. How about a nice deep breath together? I'm sure this is a big community of deep breathers. As we exhale down, nourish our roots, help you meet a land here. Thanks for welcoming you to your family here. So we honor this prayer. To about your mama, Mother Earth, for holding us such a good way. Give thanks for their safe travels, safe passage of the medicine inside and out. Be able to come here and be with you. And we honor the great white buffalo. As you know, it's the only creatures that face into a storm. Literally, and also for us, medicinally or metaphorically, may it help us to face the storms of our own lives with great compassion and peace.
Thank you, Russell. That was just beautiful. And that's just a tiny sample of what you're going to have this afternoon at 5 o'clock, along with the sound healing on Tuesday at 6:30. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Probably we're all lovers of music. Check. I can project.
There you go.
As we're all lovers of music, the universal medicine, the universal language. Music has definitely taken over my life long time ago. And one of my greatest prayer years ago was to help, to play music that truly heals the heart and soul. I'm not here to perform. I mean, the concert's an interesting thing. A concert. What's a concert? For me, it's a prayer. How best can I pray with this music, with my heart, in communion with the Great Spirit, with the Creator, and bring it forth for the people? We're here for each other. So the concert really is an opportunity to gather like this. We are here for each other. So we come to gather in a good way, to pray, to bring our hearts together. And music helps to let the mind, for those computer geeks, kind of a little like myself, helps the mind defrag, the defragmentation of the mind. The mind can get very congested and constricted, like the heart and the emotions. The energy channels can get constricted like a hose. So music is the great lubrication, help to loosen things up, open to what already is. The light of the Creator. So tonight, we'll gather together and pray in a good way, bring forth the medicine and let that alchemical magic of music. Sound healing, I'm a sound healer, I'm supposed to be a musician. People keep saying I'm a musician, but I'm really a sound healer. Heal with sound. Been walking this path with healing about 25 years. In Peruvian shamanism, which we'll share more about that during the concert, and especially in the sound healing. Sound healing is a little more ritualistic, a little more ceremonial. Not that anything I don't do is ceremonial, but that's going to be something we gather together and really drop in with great invocation, honoring the directions and the medicine of the directions. And then very recently I released an album called Savor Eternity. I'd like to share that with you a little bit later. And I think a lot of you appreciate that, is I use 9 different flutes. The first is an invocation, an opening, which was great buffalo flute. And then there were 7 other flutes honoring the 7 directions, and then a closing prayer. So the spirit of all the directions, I prayed into each direction and then played into that prayer. And very happy with it. Savor Eternity. So you get a lot of taste of that over the next, over Sunday and then Tuesday. And I play many different instruments. Been blessed to be able to navigate through the wind instruments, my main, the flute medicine. Anyone heard didgeridoo? Any didgeridoo fans? Me too. I'm still astonished 20 years later of the majesty of that instrument. So that's one of my main instruments as well. A lot of weird instruments. Kind of a weird guy. Good weird, who's good weird here? Any good weirdos here? The whole family good weirdos here. If you're not weird, you're missing out. And there's a stringed instrument that's called it's a Bulgarian guitar. And it's a very astonishing, that really stole my heart, and you'll get to hear that later tonight. And any handpan fans? Hong drum? Yeah, that's in my arsenal of love. So anyway, you get an idea of really what that is, and so have a really great time tonight, because also what's one of my highest values is fun. And last thing I'm going to leave you with for this moment is, I've known that fun is my highest value, and I always feel a little guilty about it. I even feel guilty when they're having too much fun, like they're playing too much, like just a little bit. Come on, like a little bit, unless you've healed that. I'm working on it. I've really come to a place a couple of years where I really owned that fun is my highest value, and this is what brought it all together. I'm going to go on a limb here. Any Grateful Dead fans here? I am so grateful. And been really blessed, by the Grateful Dead and that whole majesty and the orchestration of what they did and where they were coming from. And Phil Lesh, the bass player, during the documentary, Long Strange Trip, extraordinary documentary, really brought it forth. It was so much more than, drugs and rock and roll. I mean, there was a deep, deep movement, and what they were really going for. And that documentary really brought it forth, that they had hard times. It was hard to carry that prayer. It was a prayer they carried forth. And what Phil Lesh said was this, and it pretty much brought my whole life together. It helped something heal inside of me that I've been feeling, and Phil said it. He said that, again, the value of fun, we play because it's fun, but true fun is connection to the eternal. Oh.
Everybody. How are you? I can't quite see you. Maybe that's a good thing today. So before we go into what I wanted to talk to you about, is it okay if we do a meditation to get on the same page, merge all of our energy together? Okay, so we're going to take our hands and rub the palms together. And then bring your hands into prayer pose. And take your thumbs to sit at the notch in the bottom of your throat. There is a meridian point here in the back of the neck that connects you to the Creator, your divinity, your light. We're going to sing Aum, but first take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale from the mouth with the sound Ha. Again, inhale. Exhale, Ha. And last time, inhale. Exhale, Ha. And for a moment, close your eyes and see yourself at your very best. See yourself healthy, happy, whole, healed, radiant, living in your truth. Take a deep inhale, exhale. We're going to keep our hands into prayer pose, and we're going to sing Aum. Aum, 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 Ah, Ah, Aum. Aum being the sound of our hearts, right? The hum of our divinity within. So inhale. Aum. Now inhale, bring the arms up overhead, open up, smile as big as you can, hold the breath, smile, and then when we exhale, bust out laughing as hard as you can. Exhale, ah! Good. All All right. It's an interesting topic I chose. It seems every time I choose a topic and come here, whoever comes up to speak before me is on the same page energetically as what I've written maybe a few days before. But I want to talk about taking our power back by owning our story, meaning owning every aspect about ourselves as truth and needed to get where we are right now. And so most of the time when we are experiencing life, our mind has made up a story that might not be in coherence with what's actually happening in life. And an example yesterday was I broke my toe last night, and oh no, it's fine. I have 4 more. Well, I have 9 more actually, so it's fine. But the story I went into immediately was the universe must want to punish me a little bit. The Creator must think I have to have challenge every day and struggle every day in order to be worthy of anything. Because it seems like my life sometimes is filled with challenge and struggle. And then me breaking my toe just kind of like halted my plans, right? We had some plans and they weren't working out the way we wanted them to last night. And it was because of this toe, right? And so I immediately go into the story in my head of, I'm not worthy of having fun, I'm not worthy of having a good time, look, something's always in the way, tick, 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 tick. Meanwhile, it's just a broken toe, right? And like I said, we have 9 more. And so what I wanted to talk about is when we go into that mindset, finding fault within ourselves as a way to explain why things are happening in life that may not be perceived as wonderful by us, it is our mind's way of protecting ourselves from being vulnerable to other people, from putting our whole self out there without feeling like we need to hide any aspect of ourselves. And on a daily basis, we walk around, and maybe if you encounter 100 people during the course of the day, you may put on 10 to 12 different masks, depending on who you're speaking to. Because there's a fear within us that if we show our true heart, if we allow the radiance of our life to be lived out loud, then people will not accept us and will be shunned or will be made fun of. And in the heart of every human being, I truly believe that the thing we're longing for the most is to belong. To belong, to be accepted for who we are, to be accepted even with all of the mistakes that we think we've made or the flaws that we think we have. And I thought about this the other day a lot, and I thought, what if the mistakes we made were just the tuition that we had to pay for the school of life? What if the mistakes that we made, or the perceived flaws, because they're not really mistakes or flaws, they're just, we went down a different path, right? There's always a fork in the road at every decision that needs to be made, and your choice is sometimes to go left, sometimes to go right, sometimes to go forward, or sometimes to stay still. Maybe sometimes you even step behind you, right? Take 2 steps backwards. But what if we stopped perceiving that any step in any direction is the wrong step? What if the step is exactly what you need at this very moment? And the plan that you had in your mind and the story that you made up about how you wanted everything to go is maybe not in your highest good or your best interest. Because we think we know what would be good for us, and we think we know what's best for us. And at the same time, do we? Because we've made some decisions that aren't good for us, right? We've chosen paths that didn't lead us to be our highest self, and there's learning in there and there's growth in there. But what if we just left it to the Creator? What if every day we followed a trail of breadcrumbs instead of trying to lay out the entire path before ourselves and feeling like we had to take every step as precisely as we had planned out? But what if we took 2 steps and then thought, what does the universe want to show me now? Where does it want to lead me? What am I to learn? How am I to grow? What do I need to experience in order for me to be my biggest and my best self, And so part of taking our power back, when I say that, I mean like owning the fact that you are who you are and no one else can ever be you. How amazing is that? No one can be me. And the Creator, the Divine, created each of us in an aspect of His image or its image or whatever you decide to call her. And it doesn't matter to me. It's all the same. But what if we are just living reflections and supposed to be, our life is supposed to be a living example of what's possible every day. And that the struggle that we encounter or the failures, I don't even like that word, because have you failed? Or is it just a different choice? So if we can look at the struggle or the perceived failures as just, I needed to learn something at this point in my life. I needed to slow down and stop because I was so focused on where I was supposed to be going that I missed everything around me in the moment. That around me at all times there's love and beauty and harmony and community and support and compassion and forgiveness is all around us. And most of the time we're so dead set on getting there, right? As as Russ said earlier, rim to rim in one day. That's a lot. And sometimes during the course of the day, we're going rim to rim. We are on full speed. We have a to-do list of 1,000 things, and if we don't get 5 into it, we feel like we failed and we wasted our day. And have you really wasted your day? Because what if all you needed to do today was wake up, sit outside under a tree and smile? Maybe that's what you were supposed to do instead of running around and trying to get a bunch of chores done. But what if, right, being who we are means doing exactly how I feel right at this moment? How do I want to show up right now? How do I want to express myself? Do I want to hide anymore? There's a great saying, and I will not quote the person who said it originally because I'll mess it up. But he said that what we don't realize during the course of our life is that the prison doors of our heart are always locked from the inside. And you're holding the key at all times. And so the only one that keeps us in this prison of how things should look and how they should be and failure and disappointment is ourselves. We hold ourselves to a standard that we do not hold other people to at all whatsoever. And why is it so hard to be more compassionate with ourselves and be more patient with ourselves, to be more forgiving for the mistakes that you've made or the mistakes that you think you've made? Do you know, sometimes when we make a decision, we go, oh, that was the wrong decision. But you get like 6 months later and you can see that it was the best thing that you ever did in your entire life. That wrong decision led you to a more radiant version of yourself. Right? So owning your story means not being ashamed of any part of your journey, not having regret for any mistake that you made, not seeing yourself as unworthy or as a failure because your life didn't work out the way you thought it should or the way you wanted it to. But maybe deciding that every step that you've taken up until this point is the step that was necessary for you to be right here. The ocean is not the ocean if you take a drop of it out. It is not the complete ocean anymore. If you take one step of your journey away from your story, you are not you. You are not yourself. It was required to get you here. And so no more shame and no more hiding. And it's time to live out loud, right? And say, you're right, I did make a mistake. I was a buffoon last night, and I tripped and stubbed my toe and broke it in half. Instead of going on, because I'll tell you what really happened. That did not happen. I didn't go, and laugh at it. I went down on the floor and started to cry. Literally bawling, not because it hurt, but because how stupid of me. And we beat ourselves up in an instant. It is so easy to get to that place of self-loathing or shame or feeling unworthy and feeling not good enough. And it's so much harder to get to that place of saying, I am perfect in my imperfection. I am the Messiah in my mess. right? I am the mess If I just let the mess be part of me, I get to go, right? So you get to be the Messiah of your own life. And you know, Leonard Cohen has that beautiful song, right? And then there's a line where it says, the cracks are how the light gets in. If we were perfect and unscathed and uncracked, we would be so afraid to walk around and hit something for fear of messing up that perfection. But right now, we are perfect exactly as we are. And if we stub our toe or break our arm or bruise our leg, it's even more beautiful because it becomes a badge. I've lived my life. I stumbled. I broke my toe. I hit my arm, right? It means you're living. If you're not making mistakes, you're not living. If you aren't doing anything that's causing growth, you're living a very closed-in life filled with fear. A life filled with fear because you're afraid to make a mistake, because you're afraid to be yourself, because you're afraid to be judged. And we all know from being in this place every week that nobody here is judging anybody. And so what if you took the spirit of this place out into the world and realized that no one's judging us either? And if they are, it's not my problem. It's their problem, right? But what if owning your story allows other people to own theirs too? If you showing your failures or your flaws or your imperfections is a way for other people to say, oh my God, I get permission to do the same exact thing right now because she won't judge me because look, she's living her perfectly imperfect life right out loud for all to see, right? Like a big show on a stage. And so it allows us to connect to each other in a very human way, in a way of being vulnerable. You know, vulnerability is one of the scariest things in the entire world, is putting your whole heart and soul out there with whatever you decide to do with your life and hope that it goes well, you know, but it is going well because you exist and because you're breathing and because the divine thought you were worthy of having life on earth for a short time or a long time. The fact that we're all sitting here, we can all see each other, means that we're worthy of everything available to us that the Creator has given to us, that the divine has blessed us with. It's because we can see each other. As long as I can see you, it means you are the same as me. We were cut from the same cloth. We were made from the same sand. And we will all go back to the same place together. We are all connected. So I want to, is it okay if we do something together to affirm the fact that we love ourselves completely and wholly as we are? Is that okay? All right, so rub your palms together. We're going to say this together. You'll repeat after me. It's a letter to yourself, okay? So you can bring your hands on your heart or anywhere you feel is appropriate. They can be open. They can be on your heart. Okay, you ready? Fail, my love. Because you cannot. Do you know what I love about my life? There are only new beginnings. Every day is a chance to start again. Every hour. Every moment. Every now. In every ending and disappointment, there is a potential for rebirth. To let go of old dreams, to let old certainties crumble, to trust the pain and trust its medicine, to see the pain as a portal to love, to grieve the loss of my dream, to turn towards myself, to my breath, to my precious heart, to pull back and run towards the gravity and the sounds of this new day, because I long to be alive. I want to die to the image of the past and to be reborn into the new day. To be a miracle, to experience resurrection, to be the energy of pure alchemy. My power lies deep within. I am powerless to change the past, but I have all of the power to change the present. I take the next step now, and I know I will not fail, that I will be right here to catch myself. I will love myself through my mistakes. I have failed 100 times before. I have survived every time. I will survive again. So I am in love with my failure. I am in love with the ground, the trying, the effort, the shattered dreams, the tragedy and comedy of eternal rebirth. If we all fail together, it will be glorious. We will laugh together as we fall. We will sing together as we fall. But fail we will not, because we can't. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. And then just shake your hands. Everybody okay? Okay. Can we do one more song? Is that okay? So we're going to do I Am. Sing I Am as a way to own ourselves and love ourselves and wrap our arms around ourselves and say, congratulations for being you and for making it through. and to also hold ourselves very high for the next step that we decide to take in life, even if it's in the next 5 minutes, but trusting that you're always divinely held and guided, and that you're never led astray, and that every moment is a chance to choose differently if you wish, or if you wish not. So we're going to do I Am, and we'll do it in, it's called self-love mudra. You interlace your fingers, you take your pinkies up, and then you take your index fingers up, and then your thumbs up. This is I love you, right, in sign language. So this is I love myself. And this sits at our heart center. And so we'll take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. And close the eyes, go inside of that beautiful heart of yours and see it radiating out, this bright golden light. And see yourself as the divine sees you, as whole and healed, as beautiful, as a source of love. And internally say the words I am to yourself, and follow it with one positive word of your choosing today to hold in your heart as an affirmation for the rest of the day. And when we sing I Am, we affirm that there's nothing in us but love. So inhale, exhale, I am, I am, I am, I am. Hold the breath, smile, see yourself again at your very best, happy, healthy, whole, and healed, and exhale. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Hold the breath, smile, and then bust out laughing. Ah! Good. One last thing. You're going to repeat after me. You ready? Today I affirm there is nothing in me but love. This love comes from total acceptance of myself and the understanding that I am a perfectly imperfect human being. I'm letting myself off the hook. I stumbled, I made mistakes. It's okay. It's my imperfections that make me beautiful. I am unique and completely loved for who I am. I choose to accept everyone in my life with the same radical acceptance I have for myself, knowing that we are all simply doing the best we can. And so it is. Aho. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love me too. So Kimberly wanted to do a meditation for everyone who is sick or needs healing, to be held in divine light. And so there's a mantra that we do in Naam Yoga. It's called Rama Dasa. Ra is the sun, Ma is the moon, Da is the earth, Sa is infinity. Sase Sohang means I am that, meaning I hold within me the totality of everything that was ever created by the divine, which means everything is possible in my life. Complete healing is possible. We like to say that everything is here temporarily. If it found a door in, we can find the door out. So we're going to find the door out for people who are not well right now. So if you would, there's a mudra that we do where you hold whoever it is that needs the healing light. You hold them between your hands so they know that they're being held. So your hands, palms face each other, and you quietly go into your mind and just envision the faces or the names of those who need healing, who need to be held, who need to know that we've got them, and see them surrounded again in the brightest golden light that you can imagine. And take a deep inhale and exhale. And repeat after me, divine intelligence, bless our work, so be it. So it is. It is done. And we'll sing Rama Dasa. So for a moment, just keep holding them, wrapped in the light. In your mind, you can say over and over, completely healed, completely healed, completely healed. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, see yourself breathing life into them. Exhale. Good. And we keep holding them in the light. And it's Rama Dasa, Sase Sohang. Inhale. out to all people, all beings, everywhere in the world, the whole planet. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Wrap the whole planet in love and light. Send healing out. Exhale. Shake your hands. And then take your hands and sweep from your throat down to your heart so that the truth and the sweetness of your words live in your heart always. And then we go back up so that love only comes out of my mouth when I speak to myself and others. May I always uplift and never tear down. And then shake the hands. And bless you. Thank you. Namaste.